is Hannah from the Highland Park Public Library, and welcome to Library in Your Living Room. I'm excited to share today's program, Diggin' Up History. We're going to talk about archaeology and look at pictures of real stuff that archaeologists have found. At the end, I'll tell you about a cool craft inspired by ancient rock art. Let's get started. So, what is archaeology? Archaeology is the science of the past. Archaeologists work by finding a spot to study that they call a site. Then they use special tools to dig slowly and carefully to find things from the past. And they find all kinds of stuff. Some things are small enough to fit in your pocket. Archaeologists have also discovered entire cities. The things that archaeologists find are clues to how people used to live. Archaeologists can study artifacts and ecofacts. These things are small enough to be taken from the digging site to then study in a laboratory. Artifacts are things that were made by people, like tools or art. In the pictures on your screen, you can see old notes from Mali, which is a country in Africa, an ancient Mexican calendar, a game board from Israel, and a canoe from New Zealand. Ecofacts are a little bit different. Those are natural remains that were left behind by people. Examples of ecofacts are charcoal, seeds, or bones. The ecofacts on your screen are sesame seeds from Turkey, a country in Asia, and animal bones from Chile, which is in South America. Archaeologists can also study structures and features. These things are way too big to take away from a site to study. So archaeologists have to rely on photos and drawings to study them, or they can travel to the site and see it in person. Structures can be buildings, statues, or even whole villages. On your screen, you can see ancient structures like the Egyptian Pyramid of Giza, the Roman Colosseum in Italy, and the Moai statues in Easter Island. That's in the Pacific Ocean. There are also some villages on your screen. Mohenjo-Daro in Pakistan and Machu Picchu in Peru are examples of ancient cities uncovered by archaeologists. Features are what archaeologists call it when people have made changes to the natural environment. The Cahokia Mounds, which is right here in the United States, are an example of a feature. You can be an archaeologist too. There are lots of really cool activities you can do at home to help you practice being an archaeologist. One thing you can do is go into your own yard and look for artifacts. Be sure to get permission from your grown-up before you start digging around in the dirt. You can also make your own time capsule for future archaeologists to find. Put some everyday objects, along with a letter explaining what they were used for, into a box. And then bury the box. And then someday, far into the future, an archaeologist might find what you buried. You can also practice excavation with a chocolate chip cookie. Use a toothpick to try to get the chocolate chips out of the cookie without turning the cookie into a crumbly mess. It is a lot harder than it sounds, and it shows you just how delicate archaeologists have to be when they're digging for artifacts. You can also discover the past by looking at your old family photos. Find pictures of your parents, grandparents, or other relatives. Pay attention to things like clothes or hairstyles or stuff in the background. What looks different between the photos and the present day? And what looks the same? These are all great ways to be your own archaeologist. If you want to learn more about archaeology, we have some great resources. If you head to our website, hplibrary.org, we have really great databases for you. One is Ancient and Medieval History, which has articles about ancient civilizations from all over the world, anywhere you can think of. Access Video on Demand, just for kids, has 2 really great short videos about ancient cultures. They have one on ancient China and one on ancient Egypt. If you search archaeology in that database, you'll find both those videos. There are also some ebooks that beginning readers might enjoy. If you look at Pompeii, Buried Alive by Edith Cunhart, or Tut, Lost and Found by Judy Donnelly, those are both great books for kids who are interested in archaeology and are also just learning how to read. Those are both available through Overdrive or the Libby app. All right, I promised you a craft. Here's the craft. So ancient people used to paint on rocks to make art, and you can find ancient rock art all over the world, pretty much on every continent except for Antarctica. Art that is painted on rocks is called a petroglyph, and you can make your own petroglyph out of brown construction paper or a brown paper bag, and then something to draw with. You could use crayons, paint, chalk, markers, colored pencils. People in ancient times used whatever tools they had on hand to make stuff, so you can use whatever you find in your house. And now in the next couple of slides, I have pictures of real petroglyphs from around the world. So if you need some inspiration for your prehistoric drawing, I got you covered. So this first petroglyph is in Pony Hills, which is in New Mexico. And this is a drawing of Cocopelli, who is an American Indian demigod. This petroglyph is over 1,000 years old. This is a rock drawing from Pedro Furada, which is in Brazil. The people used a variety of techniques to make these pictures. They used finger painting and they also used homemade paintbrushes. This is the Apollo 11 cave in Namibia, which is a country in Africa. Some of the petroglyphs at this site are 25,000 years old. This is East Kalimantan, which is a cave in Indonesia, and you have to climb up a really tall, scary mountain to get there. Archaeologists think that people made this long, dangerous climb just to make art. This is the caves of Lascaux in France, and this petroglyph shows aurochs, which are an extinct species of bull. There are also some deer in this petroglyph, and they're very tough to see. The Kimberley region in Australia also has petroglyphs. The Australian Aborigines call this type of art guion guion. It usually shows people wearing elaborate costumes like tassels or feathers or beads. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to check out our website, hplibrary.org, for more library in your living room programs. If you like what you see, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, stay safe and wash your hands.